But this season had so many beautiful moments, Will.
It did. 12 wins was not what any of us could expect. Winning 5 of your last 6 games because of on the last possession, like it's extremely exciting. But it was a really fun season to be part of. You could sit on your couch, you could get into the game, but you could also just sort of like enjoy knowing like we've got ourselves a squad. We've got ourselves a quarterback out there. And it wasn't this like maddening game that we used to have where there was like opportunities to make plays and we would get sacked or we would overthrow the ball or we dropped the pass. It was like they were executing out there, and it was refreshing to watch.
I mean, and honestly, it genuinely was, because and that's the funny thing. When I look back at the fact that some of the things I was arguing about, it was like, Sean, we won. Who cares? It doesn't matter who got it done.
Thank you. I would read your post-game analysis at times and been like, you are obsessing over the wrong things right now. You were screaming about how our quarterback in his very first game didn't have pocket presence and ran the ball too much.
I definitely did. But that's what makes it better to go back and watch, because you can watch it with a clear head. And now it's like, oh my goodness, look how good he is, even in his bad moments and things like that. Yeah. So Will, let's go ahead and go into it. Let's talk about it. The favorite moments from this season, like you talked about 12 wins, and there's so many different moments to choose from. What's your first favorite moment that you can think back about the season?
Bengals on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, he took mine.
And well, so what got it for me was because we have been so bad for so long on Monday Night Football, and our team came to play. And the very first like quarter of the game, it's been a while since I've seen it. It was like a back and forth. They could score, but we could score. Yes. They would score, we would score, and then we would score again, and then we scored again. And it was like we were just showing them like, hey, we got a game plan, and you can't stop us right now on offense or them on defense. And that's what was so much fun, along with the Terry touchdown at the end. But it was just, that was an exciting game on the national stage. And it's like, we might have ourselves something here. Something here.
Oh yeah, no. And I mean, the first thought that came to my mind was, in that game, it felt like it was anything you can do, I can do better. And it was like Burrow hits Chase for a touchdown. All of a sudden we come back. And like you were saying, it's blow for blow. Like we're going. And then we had that like, okay, we're distancing ourselves. We're making a little cushion. Wow, this is not to be expected. But the first time that we had seen him under the lights, the first time all the intentions on him, you have another Heisman Trophy winning quarterback on the other side. I mean, the storylines could not have been drawn up any better. And I loved it. He shined. And that was the first time. And, because like you said, after that first game, I was, look at him. He's not that. That was the first time where I got hit in the face with like, you guys got here. You guys got something. And we're going to mention, we have another topic when we know J5 was it. This, I'm just going to let it out there. Yeah. This was it for me too.
Same game.
It was just such a great showing. And to your point, that touchdown at the end dropped it right in the basket. And it was kind of like, damn. Like you just literally sat back and said, damn.
Yes.
This guy is good.
Yes. That is the reaction. And like to the point where like even Bengals fans could be like, wow, what are we going to do?
Right. And now people still tried to take a little bit away. Oh, the Bengals start slow. They struggle early in the year. Their defense isn't X, Y, and Z. So, okay, fine. My second moment I loved it. And I talked to you guys about it with the tie when we played the Browns. And that game, albeit the score was, I think, 34-13. So 3 scores, yes, but we blew them out. I mean, we totally wiped them out. And the best part about it, my favorite moment, was when Mariota came in, because I'm just like, when is the last time that we've had a backup quarterback come in because the game is already out of reach? Yes. We've already won the game. And that to me kind of solidified the fact that, we got a team. It's not just offense. It's not just deep. Now, mind you, Cleveland didn't do anything to help themselves. You know what I mean? But we can go back to the last time we played them when we had Carson Wentz a couple years before. They didn't do anything to help themselves in that game, and what we couldn't get out of our own way. And this one, we did so well, even with them kind of figuring out, maybe, I don't want to say putting the blueprint in, but knowing, make Jaden keep the ball, make him run. Some of the things that Jaden ended up struggling with later on were some of the things that Cleveland showed up and showed out with. So that game to me was that first one that said, okay, they have good players. This is a solid team. You know, maybe not how they were playing at the time, but still, you know, we beat them handily. Like Mariota came in, and then Mariota even did decent. And remember, that was the one I messaged you guys where I was like, I jumped up and down and I was screaming. Then I had to sit down like, oh, I'm getting a little dizzy here. Like, what is happening? But yeah, that was another one for me, man.
I have that game. I have the Cardinals, Browns, Panthers, and Titans games all listed as the same thing, blowouts. Yes. Winnable games that they made, no doubt about it. And early on, by the end of the first quarter, it was like, all right, we good. We got this. You know, we're not having the usual, like, we should beat these guys. Why are we playing like we're hungover right now? You know, type game. And that too, it was just like, this team is this where I started to really like fall for the coaching staff, because they had them prepared. They had them with a scheme that could attack it. You know, against the Browns, we were worried about Myles Garrett. We were worried about some of their individual players that could hurt us in positions that we're not strong in. They took care of all that. The scheme took care of all that. Garrett didn't have a single sack. He barely had any pressures. You know, their wide receivers did nothing against us on defense. You know, it's like, so that's where it was really much like, all right, we've got players who can play. We got coaches who can come up with some schemes. We got ourselves a quarterback. Like, this is a fun ride.
Yes. And to your point, win the games we're supposed to win, which sounds easy enough. But if you've been a Washington fan for as long as we have, you know those are the games that we find a way normally to lose in the past. But doing that this year was amazing. What else you got?
My only other one was the Eagles game at home.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I get amped up a little bit more for Eagles games. I actually take the Eagles games more serious than the Dallas game. But I think it's Eagles fans, all that, you know, and I get them hitting me, you know, blowing up my phone. So the fact that we had 5 turnovers and we kept getting at it, and the fact that, I mean, it was literally Jaden just taking the team on his back and to be like, all right, you can't run the ball, I'll do it. I'll drive us every time. If the receivers aren't open, I'll run it. If it's a running play that's not going to work, I'm just going to run it myself. You know, and that was a fun game. Plus, you and me love Jamison Crowder. So the fact that we were able to, you know, see him score the winning touchdown, like, that just made me feel good. Like, yes, Crowder got it. You know, so it was fun.
One of those who was hurt, and I remember thinking when he came back, I was like, we still have him? Because he had been down for so long, we didn't know. And it was like, oh, yes, this is good. I'll put him as number 2. I like that. Mm-hmm. Before I give you my last one, I'm going to give you my honorable mention. And that is, matter of fact, I'll just go show it.
And it's going to be getting longer by the second. You're all the way back at the 30-yard line. Now you can step into it. Here comes the Hail Mary with the game on the line. And the ball is caught! It's a miracle!
Anyone that saw this season, even if you did not see the game, that has got to be one of the top moments, if not the top moment for most people in-house in Washington. Mm-hmm. That was a moment where he stole a victory from the Jaws' defeat. It was beautiful. Funny story about that game. I think I've told you this, Will. What I alluded to earlier was that I didn't get to appreciate this year because there's a lot of times where I was bickering with people back and forth. Before this game, I was bickering with Washington fans about how, Jaden, you know, he's this, he's that, but he still struggles. He's still this, he's still that. Then I was bickering with Bears fans because I was like, you know, you guys want to get rid of your coach, but he's not really that bad, blah, 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 blah. I got myself so wound up before this game that I took a nap in pregame and I slept through the whole thing. I had people messaging me, blowing up my phone, posting on Facebook, "Oh my God, congratulations!" Da, 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 da. And I woke up and I was like, "Oh, we won." People were just blowing me up, and I missed the whole thing. So part of the season, I had to deal with myself because that. I mean, I don't. Oh, put this way, I don't know if I would have been able to deal with that because to go up 12-0 and then to completely fall off and have the Bears come all the way back to that very last second to then have that happen. I'm almost glad that I completely missed it, but it was one of those things where it was like, damn. Like that's not gonna happen again. That's one of those moments where where you say, "Where were you when?" And I can say I was in my bed asleep because I was having a little tantrum. So I'll admit I was wrong for that, but I love that clip. And I mean, any Washington fan's gonna say that was one of the moments.
Well, and so the reason why I didn't put that as one of my favorite moments is exactly what you talked about. The fact that we outplayed them for the entire game. They scored with 50 seconds left to take the lead. And in most cases, I'm like, well, this is over. And I was frustrated being like, we should have won this game. We crushed these guys. And then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, Caleb Williams came to life. And I was like, this is bull. And then so we had that emotional roller coaster. Of course, there's elation and jubilation, just like Canada has right now because they just scored a goal when we won the game. But I also was just like, oh, thank goodness, because we should have won this game.
Yeah, we got bailed out by Jaden. And that's one of the reasons I can't I'm not gonna, again, spoiler, I'm not gonna put this on favorite moments for him because yes, that was a great moment, but everything had to happen just right for that to happen. There was no, because we have this guy, we have it. As long as you could have thrown it down there and got down the field, whatever was going to happen in that moment. This my final moment though. I think this is the clip. If this is the clip, this will show my final moment. Hold on.
Daniels is going into the Lions den, baby.
Yes. Wait. Did you say Daniel is going into the Lions den? Do you remember the story of when Daniel went into
there's a remix. The Lions go.
Ain't no remix. Because we know that God shut the mouth of the lion. Oh, and now Daniel, he gonna get them.
He already.
Yo, when she said that, before that moment, I had conceded we're not going to win this game. We're just happy to be in this game. We're playing the number 1 seed. These guys have been dominant all year long. When she said that and reminded me of Daniel and Lions in that story and everything like that, you know how I am spiritually and how I, where my faith is. That's at that point, I knew we were going to win the game. It wasn't anything schematically, it wasn't any players, it wasn't anything. It was just that this season has been a movie. This has been kind of scripted, like it has been just amazing and immaculate how everything happened. When I heard that, that's when I was like, oh snap, we're about to be in for something great. You know what I mean? And hindsight's 2020. Had we lost, I would have been like, oh, well, it was a good story while we, but the fact that she had said it and then we won that game, that was one of those moments for me where it was just like, oh, this is a magical season. And I could not have asked for anything other than this. I mean, it was amazing.
Right. No, well, I haven't admitted this before, but I had been enjoying the game a whole lot that night. So there are some moments of it that are a little fuzzy, but no, that was an extremely fun game, like you said. I mean, and in that, all I was doing was cheering the whole time because we were making incredible plays and everything like that. But no, that too. I mean, that certainly topped things off as being a moment that we didn't see happening, and the season progressing all the way to the championship game, which is awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And look, among all of the moments that we've had throughout the season, there has been one constant: win, lose, or draw. It's been the moment we drafted Jaden Daniels, which has been the moment for the season.
Dun, 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 dun.
Let's go. The Washington Commanders. There it is.